everyone! Today we are going to be going over all of the books that I'm hoping to read this summer. Something in my mind told me that you are the perfect one. I can't get you out, I will never leave aside from love. I don't want to look around, yeah. I will never let you down, yeah. Something in my mind told me that you are the perfect one, yeah. So this is sort of a shorter list. I don't know if you guys know this, I've talked about it in a couple of videos recently, that I had like the worst reading slump these past couple of weeks, and filming slump for that matter. I didn't read, I didn't film, I didn't edit, I didn't do anything hardly, and it was awful. And I'm hoping to now be finally getting out of that and finally back into the swing of things, but I don't want to push myself too hard. So this TBR is shorter than normal TBRs. I also wanted to let you guys know that because of my slump, a lot of the books that I planned on reading in spring I didn't get to, and I still want to read. Make sure you go check out my spring TBR, because those books I'm also still going to keep in the back of my mind when I search my shelves for books that I want to read. Another thing is I am participating in the Reading Rush, and so I recently just put up my Reading Rush TBR. So those books are also on my TBR. I will obviously be reading them this summer, but I'm not going to talk about them here because I already did a whole video talking about it, which you can find by clicking the link. But anyway, so let's just get into the books that I've actually designated to talk about in this video. So the first book that I have on my TBR, I technically have already started. I'm a little less than 100 pages in, and I'm buddy reading it with my friend Elizabeth from Instagram, and I'm loving it so far, and I think it's actually helping me get out of my slump, which is amazing. But that book is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. So we started buddy reading this like as soon as the semester ended. It's like beginning of May, and then the slump hit like a week or two after that happened, and then we literally read like a chapter and then didn't get around to it until maybe about a week ago. Once I really started getting into this book, man, oh man, is there a lot in this. I am so impressed with this book so far. It's very dark and gruesome and interesting. I have so many questions about it, and it's really just keeping me on the edge of my seat, which I think is very helpful with getting me out of this reading slump. And I don't want to tell you guys too much about Ninth House and what it's about, because I went into it not knowing anything except that it was about secret societies and took place at Yale. That's all I knew, and I think that is the best way to go into this book and just not have any expectations, because it's definitely one of those ones that you just want to experience and just dive into it yourself and just see what you think of it. This one is really good so far, and it's really helpful to get me out of that slump, and so this is definitely the one that I have been turning to lately when I'm like, I should read. Boom, Ninth House. The other book I have on here, I technically have also already started, but I only read like a chapter so far, and that book is Lucid by Adrienne Stoltz and Ron Bass. So this is a book I've had on my shelves for years, like I want to say probably like 6 years or something. I've had it for so long, and I don't really know a whole lot. There actually isn't a real synopsis in the front cover like there normally is in books. There's just a couple little things that you usually see on the back, but it's in the synopsis portion. So there's really no synopsis for this book, at least on the book. But basically what I know about it is it's about this girl named Maggie who has this sort of like alter ego, and when she falls asleep, her alter ego comes out, and it's like, you know, like an evil, bad side of her or something like that. That's all I really know. Like I said, I'm only a chapter into it, so I don't know a whole lot more, but I am really interested in it so far, and so hopefully I will finish it in the coming few weeks. Next book on my TBR is one that I'm going to be buddy reading with Kat from Bookish Reads, and that book is The Sister Pact by Stacey Rainey. This is a book that we had planned to buddy read when we decided that we were going to be buddy reading One of Us is Lying, which was like way a long time ago, like probably in April or something. And we kind of both found out that we have this book, and it's kind of like a backlisted book, not one you usually hear about, and so we were both like, oh my gosh, you have that? And I have that? That's amazing! And so we decided to buddy read it together. Again, I'm sorry, I don't really know what this book is about. It's just a contemporary. I'm assuming it's about sisters and a pact. Ooh, what a novel concept. I'm just really excited to read this one, mostly because I am reading it with Kat, and we'll be able to talk about it as we read it, and it's going to be so much fun. And it's just a light, fluffy contemporary, which I love reading in the summer. The next two books I have on here are sequels. So the first one is Rainbow High by Alex Sanchez. In a recent readathon I did with Kat and Faith, I read Rainbow Boys, which is the first book in this series, and that book is about 3 teenage boys who are in high school and they're either gay or bi or questioning, and they're kind of just exploring their sexuality and what they look for in a partner, and also just dealing with like high school drama and whatnot. So this is the continuation of that series. I again don't really know a whole lot about what happens in this one particularly. I just know what happened in the first one, and I can kind of like make assumptions based on what happened to like know what the major plot points are in this one. I really did enjoy the first book. The only problem I had with the first book is it's kind of outdated in its stereotypes, its assumptions about sexuality. I mean, of course the book was written in 2001, so it was written a long time ago. The characters experienced, you know, like bullying, like outright bullying in high school because they were gay or bi or whatever, and like you don't really see that a whole lot now. Like a lot more people are accepting of that, and so I think that is just obviously outdated. I mean, of course it took place 19 years ago, so things were probably like that back then. It's just not something that I've ever seen in my life. Things did happen, but that was the only like small issue I had with it, was just that it was a little bit outdated, I guess. But I still overall enjoyed the storyline and the characters, and so I'm hoping to continue on with that series. So the other sequel I have on this list is Another Day by David Levithan. This is, I don't know if it's really a sequel, I think it's more like a companion novel to the book Everyday, and I reread Everyday recently, a couple months ago, and it's like one of the most interesting books I've ever read. So Everyday is about this person named A. Every day they wake up in a different body, and they don't have their own body, they don't have their own life. Every day they wake up and live someone else's life for a single day. But they end up meeting a girl named Rhiannon, and they fall in love with her. And so Every Day is kind of just about the story of them trying to be in love while also dealing with a very interesting, unique condition. I'm pretty sure that this book, Rhiannon's perspective of what happened in Another Day. And the only thing that gives me that hint is because on the back right here it says, in Every Day, A wakes up in a different body. In Another Day, Rhiannon wakes up in hers. So I think that this is just Rhiannon's perspective of all the events that happened in Every Day. But I'm not 100% sure, and I also do believe there is a like sequel called Someday, I think, and someday I hope to get that book and read it too. Okay, so I was gonna end the video there, but I thought that it was kind of a short TBR, and there was another book on my shelves that's really been speaking to me lately, and so I decided I might as well throw it into this TBR as well. And that book is The Duff by Cody Keplinger. And this book I recently got. I actually bought it for my birthday. There is a movie based off this book, and I'm sure some of you have probably at least seen the previews or heard of this movie. All I really know is like a high school drama, and it's about these like friend groups, and in every friend group is a duff, a designated ugly fat friend. And while that sounds awful, I had heard somewhere that there is a slight amount of eating disorder representation in this book, and of course I was like, yes, sign me up. Give it to me right now. This is one that has been really catching my eye, especially since it has such a bright spine. I just feel like summer is such a great time for like lighthearted, fluffy contemporaries, you know, high school drama type stuff. And it really like gets me in the mood to go back to school too, which always is helpful. So I'm hoping to get to this one in the next few months as well. So that is it for all the books that I have on my summer TBR. Sorry it's a little bit shorter than they normally are. I just don't want to push myself too hard. I'm really trying to get out of this slump and sticking to the ones that are really catching my interest. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please make sure you are subscribed down below. And if you want to follow me on social media, all my links are in the description box down below, as they always are. And also, I have recently created a TikTok and have been making TikToks. So that link is also down in the description. And make sure you go follow me on TikTok because it's been so much fun what I've been doing over there. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Something in my mind told me that you are the perfect one.